Who knows where life goes? Who knows what lies ahead? A stranger just might be a friend you haven't met yet. These thought-provoking lyrics are taken from the opening song of Jelly Tea, and as the lyrics explicitly state, who knows what lies ahead? And little did I know that for me, what lied ahead was Fincho. But the sad truth about Fincho is that, despite being one of the greatest people of all time, still a lot of people have never heard of him. He's very obscure, and despite my attempts to spread Fincho awareness, it seems to be futile. No one knows who he is. It seems that no one knows about this film. I have no clue why. I mean, I tried to spread Fincho awareness, as I said. I tried to spread awareness of the film. I borderline harassed YouTuber Tankbank, bless his soul.
Did you see the new Jelly Tea movie? Jelly Tea? I've never seen it, to be honest with you.
I'm pretty sure I got a few other people to acknowledge the film exists.
Have I seen the movie Jelly Tea? No.
But most importantly, I got the Quality Street Macintosh YouTube comment department to acknowledge Jelly Tea. Well, I say acknowledge, but they ghosted me. So for those who haven't accepted Fincho into their hearts yet, I'll give a quick rundown of who he is, but it won't do him justice. So about a year ago, I discovered this really interesting animated film called Jelly Tea. Well, it has like 3 names, but Jelly Tea is the definitive name. It's the funniest one. But basically, I found this really low quality re-upload on YouTube, and I just skipped to a random part in the film, and I was not prepared. So the random scene I skipped to was just this really bizarre scene of this poor kid getting borderline abused by this powerhouse of a god. He's so hench, like so many words can be used to describe him, you know, hench, unit, behemoth, supercharged, but really he's his own kind of category. The dictionary alone can't justify his grandeur. For some more deets on how I discovered Fincho, why I found it so funny, and how the name Fincho was derived, you can look at this video, but that's basically how I found him and how he found me. Right, so I've just been recording audio and talking about like, ooh, Fincho's really changed my life, and joking about how big a part of my life he is. But then I just had this really surreal moment when I realised that Fincho is literally like on my bulletin board. He's just there, he's always watching me. Go! So ever since I watched this scene, I built a really unhealthy obsession with the Finch. He just needs to be analysed and observed to be understood. So the name Fincho just comes from a mishearing of his Danish accent. It just sounds like he's saying Fincho. But in the English version of the film, while he's running he says 1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
So a quick translation into Danish gives us this.
1 2.
And if that's not enough proof, in the English version he goes 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4.
1 2 1 2 1 2 3, yeah.
And then if that's translated to Danish, that's undoubtedly what Fincho is saying here.
1 2 3, ja.
1 2 3, yeah.
1 2 3, ja.
1 2 3, yeah.
So Fincho's name means 1 2. I mean, think about it, 1 2. It's the smallest way of expressing just the concept of progression. You know, 1 2 3 4, 1 2. Fincho is progression. Fincho is life. But the point is, Fincho, as iconic as that name is, it's just a nickname, it's not his actual name. And as much as I love the name Fincho, like, to me, this is Fincho, like, that's his name. I think this warm-hearted Giga Chad deserves an actual name. We need to know the truth. So since Fincho isn't actually named in the film, the first obvious thing to do is go to the credits to see if he's named in the cast. But to my immense grief and disappointment, it's just called Trainer.
Bloody hell.
This is extremely upsetting and unacceptable. I mean, unless his name might just be Kim or Slaughter. I don't know how I'd feel if Fincho's name was Slaughter. So, as I was lost for hope, in complete desperation, thinking we'll never find out what Fincho's true name is, I had one last idea. To contact Crone. Even if it turned out he had the terrible, lame name like John or Bob, I don't care, I need to know what his name is. And the only way to do it, the only way to solve the mystery, is to contact the big men. And contact the big men I did. So basically, if I want to find Fincho's true name, I'm just gonna have to ask the creators up front. Like, I've been left no other choices. So hopefully they should have like a business inquiry page About Crone Films. Crone Films was established in 1973 and has since plagued the world with its films. Oh yeah, that's Ivan. Look, that's just a reused Ivan model. Like they only have like 5 models and they just reuse them for every single animated film. Yes! That is actually a really good comparison shot of just how big he is. Like 7 Ivans could fit inside of Fincho's like 4 racks. This is definitely the right one. So he's in this film. He's in another film. I think it's Freddy Frogface, but I tried to see if maybe he was credited with a name in that film, but I haven't been able to find a full version of that film online, and I'm not buying it. Call us. I'm not. Imagine if I called them. Yes, hello. I'd like to inquire about this hench gym guy in one of your films. Yes, you just asked him the ultimate question then. Name. Radiation. Radiation. Dear Crone. I hope they can speak English. I mean, I know they're like a Danish company. I mean, most European countries can speak English, and then England just is illiterate. I really enjoyed your animated films, and I found them to be very funny. I could put stuff like, my 2 kids really enjoyed it and it changed my life, but it's like, I don't want to troll them. I'm asking an honest to God, genuine question. In your 2012 film, Jelly Tarzan. In your 2012 film, Jelly Tarzan, there is a scene which includes a very big gym trainer. Does the gym trainer have a name? I would like closure. Thank you, Crone. Oh, this is probably like the first email they've got in years. Right. Send. Your message has been sent. Well, the next time you hear my voice, in a few seconds for you, but maybe a few months for me, the answer will be revealed. Either he will have a name and we'll finally know, he won't have a name and I'll just be like, sorry, we never bothered to name this random character. Or they'll never get back, and that is truly the worst timeline. Let's hope we don't get that one. So, with a spoonful of grief, I must inform you that Crone Films haven't got back to me. I'm not done with the trail yet, but I'd like to give you this new lead I found. As I said, Fincho clearly appears in this other film called Freddy Frogface, and even though I couldn't find the film, I found the cast. And to me, Mr. Strong sounds like our guy. Mr. Strong. Yeah, there he is. So if I actually found his name, as you could guess, I'd be screaming, I'd be ecstatic. I'm not, because, well, this is definitely some good news. This is one of his titles, one of his nicknames, Mr. Strong. What? So Mr. Strong is not his birth name / chosen life name. It is his circus title, but this is a strong lead. We know he goes by this. Ian Burns is the voice of Mr. Strong in Freddy Frogface. Maybe let's try this Ian Burns guy. He probably voices the same. Coach, it's so disappointing. I just want to know what his name is. I'm just gonna have to wait for them to respond. It's been 2 days now, and I'm starting to lose hope, and the darkness is starting to settle in. It's been over a week now since I sent out that fateful email to Crone Films, and finally, after the long, agonizing wait, it is time to uncover Fincho's title, Fincho's true name. Prepare your souls.
And I'm sorry. I'm really very sorry.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They never got back to me. Big surprise. You know, I cannot believe that this relatively obscure Danish film company who hasn't made a film in like 10 years did not get back to me. I'm so disappointed in you, Crone. So by this point, you know, the higher-ups at Crone, they're not responding, they're dodging all the questions. I think it's just time to call it a day, sadly. So at first, I was really disappointed, you know, one of the biggest mysteries regarding Fincho, his true name, maybe it'll never get resolved, maybe he never even had a name to begin with. And also, if Fincho, this massive role model, massive in size and massive in cultural impact, if even he doesn't have a name, where does that leave us, eh? But then I had an epiphany. I realised something. What is a name? What actually is a name? A name is just a title we arbitrarily give to stuff. There's nothing special about a name. A name doesn't have to be given to someone at birth and then that's just their name. Names can be changed, names can evolve, names can be given. A name only has importance to those who give others names, and by that logic, Fincho's name is Fincho. Fincho might not be Fincho's birth name. Hell, Fincho might even hate the name Fincho himself. He might have disregarded that name with an iron fist. This is actually like the unfunniest, most pointless video I've actually ever made. Fincho is a name that to me is importance. Fincho, N2, 1-2, progression, life, Fincho, love. Fincho has a name, and it's Fincho. In the same way that my name is Arthur Johnson Sylvania, Fincho's name is Fincho. At the end of the day, a name is just a sound we make with our funny human mouths that we give to things we love. And we love Fincho, and he deserves a name chosen by the public, and by the public I mean me. And Fincho is good enough for me. And if we go back to the song I quoted at the start of this video, the song Who Knows, which opens Jelly Tea, and if we take a look at the lyrics, it really just sums up what I've talked about today and the message I've kind of shared. I quote, "They say fortune and fame is part of the game, take it or leave it, all the same. Fortune and fame is part of the game. Well, you can take it or leave it, it is all the same. Good night, folks."